All right, let's talk about this fundamental tension, this tug of war that's happening inside pretty much every company you can think of. It's this constant pull between making investors happy and making customers happy. And how a business navigates that divide, well, it changes everything. So let's just get right to it. Who comes first? I mean, when it really comes down to it, who gets top priority? Is it the people who own the stock, or is it the people who actually buy the stuff? It sounds like it should be a simple question, right? But oh boy, the answer is anything but. Because the way a company answers that one question, that decision right there, it defines its entire identity. It sets the strategy, it molds the culture, and you know what? It's the ultimate decider in whether that company is even going to be around in the long run. Okay, so to really get this, we've got to start by looking at the shareholder side of the equation. There is this incredible, intense pressure that comes from shareholders, and we really need to understand what that squeeze feels like. You hear this term all the time, shareholder value. But what is it, really? Well, at the end of the day, it's about making sure the investors get a return on their money. That means the stock price needs to go up and the dividends need to be paid out. And that pressure, it creates this laser focus on what's happening right now this quarter. So this pressure, it basically forces a choice. It puts you at a fork in the road. Do you go for the short-term win, hit those quarterly numbers, make the market happy right now? Or do you play the long game? Do you focus on building real, lasting relationships with customers? These are two completely different ways of thinking. And these two mindsets, they lead to two totally different business models. Let's call them the deal chaser and the relationship partner. The names kind of say it all, but let's break down what they really look like in practice. And you can just see here how different these paths are. The deal chaser is all about the transaction. Short-term gains, one-time sales, here's our standard product, see you later. Support is an afterthought. The partner? Totally different universe. It's all about long-term value, ongoing partnerships, customized solutions, and support that's actually proactive. The outcomes, as you'd expect, are worlds apart. So let's zoom in on the deal chaser's playbook. Step 1, it's all about speed and money right now. Close that deal. Step 2, it's product-centric. That means they're pushing features, talking about what the product does, not what problem it solves for you. And step 3, once the deal is done, crickets. The engagement is over. It was just a transaction. The partner model, on the other hand, just completely flips the script. This isn't about one sale. It's about building something that lasts. It all starts with being customer-centric, with actually understanding what the customer needs. And from there, it's all about delivering value, about finding solutions that go above and beyond. It's built on trust. Okay, so this all leads to the big question, right? The bottom line showdown. Which one of these models actually makes more money? The fast and furious chaser model might seem like the quickest path to cash, but you might be surprised by the numbers. You see, the chaser model has all these hidden costs. You're constantly losing customers, which means you're stuck on this exhausting and expensive treadmill of always trying to find new ones. You never get that sweet, predictable, recurring revenue. And maybe worst of all, you're not getting the feedback you desperately need to actually get better. And this chart right here, this kind of says it all. Look at the economics of it. It costs a fortune to go out and win a brand new customer, but keeping an existing one, so much cheaper. The chaser is just constantly paying that higher price over and over and over. Now, the partner model, this is where the magic happens. It creates this amazing virtuous cycle. First, you keep more customers. Because you keep more customers, your profitability goes up. And then, the best part, those happy, loyal customers become your biggest advocates. They start sending new business your way for free. That is powerful. So you're probably thinking, if this relationship path is so obviously better, why do so many companies get stuck in that transactional trap? It's a great question. And more importantly, how does a company actually make that shift? Look, making this kind of change is not easy, but it really boils down to a 3-step process. First, it has to start at the top, with a real shift in mindset. Then, you have to change your actual operations to support these relationships. And finally, and this is the big one, you have to change how you pay people. That third step, aligning incentives, honestly, this might be the whole ball game. Think about it. If you only pay your salespeople for closing new deals, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to close new deals.
But what if you started tying their bonuses to customer retention or to a satisfaction score? What if you rewarded them for building deep, strong partnerships? You get what you incentivize. When you change the comp plan, you change the entire culture.
Which brings us right back to where we started. That big conflict, that great divide. But here's the big reveal. It was a false choice all along. It was never actually shareholders versus customers.
The secret is right here. It's not a zero-sum game. When you build strong customer relationships, you get loyalty, you get retention, you get people talking, and that is what drives the sustained profit that makes shareholders happy. One isn't the enemy of the other, one is the direct result of the other.
So let's just state it as clearly as we can. The single most effective, most sustainable way to create long-term value for your shareholders is to obsess over creating immense value for your customers first. The path to shareholder value runs directly through your customer. And that really leaves us with one final question to think about. Whether you're an employee, an investor, or just a customer yourself, take a hard look at the companies in your life. Are they built for the quick transaction, or are they built to create a lifetime of value? Because that answer tells you everything you really need to know about where they're headed.